Oke. Oh, sorry. Gua.
Membuat pacar bukan saya kan?
Jadi pada kunci.
Jadi belum mau? Ya.
Di meeting rame. Dua orang lagi.
Ambil.
Dua. Kepo, hati-hati.
Trinity! Ninja in Pyjama, E-Star. Gaming Gladiators!
Menonton.
Lions!
Juga tidak kena.
AGAL!
Main game 3 mereka guys saya mager anjing. Healing guys.
VK Gaming! Zeta Division! Farhan Esports! Reject! JD Gaming!
Pendukung hierarki anjing.
And finally,
Kemarin sih bagusnya 4-2.
Sentinels!
Tadi Falcon menurun nanti Falcon.
Pressure doesn't just expose weakness, it reveals character. And so, ladies and gentlemen, when the odds are stacked against you, that is when you take the opportunity to silence the naysayers. And also, you know, have fun.
Et ouais, hein, s'amuser, c'est peut-être la clé, mesdames et messieurs. Souvent, les équipes qui s'amusent le plus sont celles qui l'emportent à la fin. Quoi qu'il en soit, nous sommes partis pour la deuxième partie de ce jour 2 des ALCS Playoffs, ici même, à l'EWC Paris. Faites du bruit!
Kudu ke open terus ya nah.
Trinity! Cross Gaming! JD Gaming!
Zeta Division!
Elite Esports!
Team RRQ!
Hinotrope Club!
Defending champions, VK Gaming!
One thing to become champion, and it's another to stay champion.
Buap. sentinel ini aneh banget.
Well, it's time to get back into the action, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us through the break. And we are ready to see Groups A and C take to our stage. Dan, we really are starting to feel the pressure ramp up a little bit now. Points are at a premium.
Yeah, we've seen the pace set essentially by the two other groups now as they start to put their points total on the board. And now it's a chance to try and keep up with those leaders, try and keep up with the likes of Liquid, who had such an incredible performance in those previous groups.
They certainly did indeed. Now, a couple of teams that we have to focus on as well, maybe for not the best of reasons, are the likes of Alliance and Ninjas in Pajamas. Now, not a good day yesterday by any stretch of the imagination. However you tried to paint it, it was not a good day for two powerhouses we expected to be at the top of the leaderboards.
We did, and I think they would have expected to be at the top of the leaderboards as well, but it was just one day. They have several days to be able to get through to the next stage and not be eliminated from the competition. That being said, if they do falter here, it suddenly gets very concerning going into the next.
Yeah, it's a very difficult night's sleep if things don't go well. Well, this is the POI draft. We are starting off on World's Edge once again for the start of the group play here in A versus C. Taking a look at things, no surprise to see Zeta Division with the first pick here on World's Edge. They are, no surprise, taking Skyhook West.
And remember what happened yesterday with Zeta Division when they got to be on a map where they had picked that #1 POI. They got back-to-back wins to put them right back up into 6th position from 20th, may I add. So I'm expecting big things here from Skyhook West. That being said, earlier, our Skyhook West team, Wolves, did not perform very well from that POI whatsoever.
Well, one team that we need to focus on as well as performing extremely well was some of the Davids in comparisons to the Goliaths that we've been talking about. The likes of Zeddy, the likes of Elite Esports, who of course won their group yesterday with the most points on the board. Those kind of teams, they just want to continue doing what they did yesterday, keep racking up those points, keep that level of consistency as we head through this tournament.
Elite Esports in particular, 30% of their points throughout the split one was from World's Edge. They have been able to find a good amount and a good total. That's one of the higher amounts that we saw from that region as well. So we'll have to see whether that does carry through to World's Edge. Other teams that have really been able to perform well on World's Edge in particular, JD Gaming, actually 43% of their points throughout split one was on this map. So I'm expecting them to be performing well here too.
Well, we have to, of course, just keep our eyes on JDG for a number of reasons, because of the fact that, you know, we're looking at their potential, but they were quiet yesterday. They were a team who really kind of took the headlines when it came to the Americas. A lot of focus on Naughty on his IGLing journey. The new addition, of course, of floating a breakthrough superstar in the Americas. But yesterday, it just seemed like something was missing in those big moments.
Yeah, and I think they can look at the groups, they look at the rotations they had. They were certainly influenced by other teams kind of getting in their way. Maybe they were a little bit too slow. Maybe they weren't used to what the pace was going to be on said rotations, because there was a lot of zone-heavy teams that were beating them to the punch. So today, maybe they'll have to be a little bit quicker with their approach, or decide to play with a slightly different style, depending on what legends have been back.
Excited to watch these boys play. Elite Esports, I did mention them, and some really, really strong moments from them. We saw some crazy Kraber shots being hit. We saw them some really big clutch moments from them, as we did see from Gaming Gladiators as well. These gentlemen were at the top of the leaderboards as well. Extremely strong in their performance, and I think Emir in general, as we've seen in previous tournaments, I will say, looking good in the group stages.
Yeah, Gaming Gladiators were 12th in the POI draft, so they've gone for Galleria. They've been able to move over, so World's Edge is not necessarily going to be their priority. That being said, GG are a team that it doesn't really matter what POI they play from, they always find good routing to that final zone, and they're happy to take those fights and those engagements if they're presented as well.
Of course, we have world champions in this lobby. We have Sentinels, we have VK Gaming as well, the defending champions. It really is just an array of teams who really can perform at the highest level. A big shout as well to Zeddy Esports. We did mention them. Jelly top fragging in the group yesterday that they were involved in, so excited to see if he can continue that kind of pace.
There's going to be a lot of eyes on Alliance. You'd mentioned it earlier, NIP and Alliance, two of the teams that have been underperforming, so we'll have to see whether we can see them step up here in this series.
Well, it's time to get underway here, everybody. A and C in the lobby, ready to go, ready to drop here on World's Edge. Game number 1 is live. The teams and the players are dropping from that dropship.
And we've already seen from a previous series, some of these early fights can really influence your confidence going into the rest of the series. A bad dud game 1, and suddenly you start to panic a little bit as you go into the rest. A big game 1 can make a massive difference in your confidence.
Certainly can indeed, and we'll see the zone pretty soon as well. Just looking through the compositions, a lot of Seer I'm seeing in this game 1, as well as some Caustic. Of course, no surprise to see a lot of Crypto, as we always expect in game number 1. I'm going to start off by Looking at the team who really did lead the way yesterday. Elite Esports, Light was fantastic, Kinda and Henchman backing him up in those big moments. They're dropping over at Thermal Station, and with where this zone is going down to the south, they're going to have pretty good prio to this zone.
Yeah, they're going to be happy with it. They've also got a ring console at Thermal, so they're going to be able to move quite fast. But it's Gaming Gladiators who are going to be the biggest winners of this initial zone pool. And they do have a ring console, so they are going to know where it's going to be heading at the same time. Sentinels also, a team who loves to play zone. They can move very quickly from Dome. You can already see they've dropped an evac tower to kind of scout around and move fast. But expect Nemesis, NIP also to be joining them pretty far south as well.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a little bit of a race going on for that most southern building, actually, at launch site. You're looking at Gaming Gladiators and Sentinels kind of both just jockeying on the map overhead at the moment to see if they can beat each other to the punch. Of course, you know, GG have a little bit more room in the POI and space to loot, so they've got to take a little bit longer to get their belongings together, and that might have given the opportunity for Sentinels to move, but it looks like Sentinels instead have opted for that small kind of shell outside of the POI, and GG, as you can see on your screens right now, have commanded that most southern building.
This is a difficult game to play, though, for Gaming Gladiators, because as you can see, they're all going to be on white armors. They are all going to be fairly poorly looted at this point, and they have to sit here for the remainder of the game. And unless anyone comes to them, they need to be trying to apply pressure with the weapons they've been able to gather in the early stages from distance to build up those evos, because they're not going to be able to hit any harvesters.
Well, the one good thing for them is they can, using Alter, just scarper away a couple of those attachments from death boxes, switch out a few weapons should they need to once the teams start falling around them. Having that high ground, of course, on that building, the reason that teams are racing there, just great LOS. The amount of damage you can do without really revealing yourself, so important. As we see Nemesis on our screens right now, who certainly were quiet yesterday.
They were. They had their ups and downs. I think that I have a lot of expectations on Nemesis. I always will, just whether it's a nostalgic feeling for Albreleli or just how impressive a player Skittlecakes is alongside the new boy of Sacred. Nemesis have the recipe to be a good team, but we haven't necessarily seen it all kind of blend together. But they've done enough to get this far. If they start to get cooking, can they be a team to really put a statement on this series?
Speaking of cooking, you can see Fuse in game one here for Nemesis, so certainly something that's been cooking up in the background for them. A couple of knuckle clusters going in towards RC, who you can see here just sat in the pouch. Thinking about maybe taking a little bit of a different route, seeing that Nemesis have managed to control that space above them. Looking at other teams around at the moment, quite a lot of teams actually moving through Monument and Fragment at the moment. You've got AG Global, BK Gaming, ZE Esports also approaching, but a fight down a tree at the moment is one that we're taking a look at here.
Already one knock as well. And it's whether you actually want to push up and take advantage of said knock, but at the same time, they're a little bit concerned about any other third parties in the area, so it looks like they're just going to hunker down for now. There are several teams around Tree, it would seem. But it looks like Kinatrope have been able to at least get one player away after that initial knock as well, because PXX were looking over.
You can hear the whirring of the drones above the crypto players. Elite Esports were probably just thinking about third-partying this initially. See Light just playing a little bit further away from the rest of his team on the altar. Drone has been destroyed, though, by the sounds of it. So they're not going to be able to scout the skies quite as they were a few moments ago. But some of the shots that this young man was hitting yesterday, Dan, very, very impressive. Highlight reel plays.
I think Elite are going to be playing with a lot of confidence, and we saw it in Split 1. We knew they were capable of it. The always question, does it translate into LAN as well? Because how many times have we seen EMEA teams dominate throughout their region, then get to LAN and just fall off a little bit, especially in the early days? It looks like they are in a position right now where they can actually capitalize on the damage that's already been done by other teams. And Kinatrope, it's just a matter of survival. Breach charges coming left, right, and center. And finally, you get the final one.
Yeah, the splash damage hurt. Kinatrope Club will be eliminated first in the lobby here. They won't survive the tribulations of Tree. And I want to go back to your point that you were making about EMEA teams. It's not unfamiliar for EMEA to start on the world stage well, but they just fall away, it feels, when the pressure starts to ramp up a little bit towards the latter stages of the tournament. My eyes is on that. If these EMEA teams continue to play well, will they be able to keep that level of performance a little bit later in the tournament?
Well, the team that did play well yesterday are RQ, and they did fall away in their last couple of games, but they had set such a lead over the rest of the lobby. They were able to still finish in second place, and with Easy Flash being the top fragger from that lobby, I'm sure that he is going to be feeling full of himself as well coming into this one. But right now, it's a comfortable position they hold over towards the Dome side. The question is, where do you actually try and locate yourself? Do you just take as much area as possible here, or can you find somewhere a little bit more solidified to call home?
They're just playing to stop the wrap from stacks and then walk their way in towards this zone. If it does pull out towards the lava, they'll be in a really, really good spot. This is interesting to look at, though, over at Harvester. This is completely isolated from the rest of the lobby, and it's Zeta Division, the team who went back-to-back, jumped from 20th to 6th in just 2 games yesterday. Well, they've got GK Esports in front of them, and some nice shots coming out from Mike there. Will allow his teammate to hit that beacon. The survey beacon will give them the information of where the teams around them will be.
Entirely isolated fight, both teams having a similar path because they're just walking through to hit Evo Harvesters on their way down, and as you said, survey beacons, ring consoles, whatever they can find to get a little bit more on their Evo charge. Ring pull will give us a little bit more information, not too much information than we already knew. It's going to continue to head down south. I guess the only thing is it is going to be slightly more towards launch site as we would expect, so those who are on that eastern side of Dome are going to have that journey through. And for a team like RRQ, for example, you're going to have to get through 2 squads before you can even get into zone.
Yeah, Sentinels I kind of like the position they took, actually. That kind of eggshell, broken eggshell that is kind of outside of Dome down to that southern side. It's isolated, yeah, as far as the rest of the lobby is concerned. You can play that for quite some time without really revealing yourself to the rest of the lobby. Launch site's going to get busy because there's multiple rooms that can be played, multiple levels of elevation that can be played. But Sentinels separating themselves from the lobby here and will be safe for quite some time. So if they can hold that eastern side with RRQ, with Relove there, they're going to be in a really good spot here.
Well, GK and Zeta looks like they are actually very much getting involved in an engagement now. We've already got 1 knock.
Satuki finds the kill onto Dropped, and now he wants more. Flying forward, trying to stop the drag potentially from an altar play. It's going to be Zeta who get the first kill. Just looking elsewhere, you can see the GK have actually hit the Void Nexus to get out of there, so they're going to have to find a way to get their teammate back into the game here. There is a crafter over at Tree, which they're heading towards at the moment, but as a duo, always a little bit risky to take those extra few seconds on your rotate to get your teammate back in.
We saw how busy Tree was earlier, so even if you are able to get back up, you know full well there's going to be a lot on that western side as we do check in with Alliance after their disappointing performance yesterday. But if we know anything about Alliance, they can always bounce back. And I think that's what kind of the differing points we were making, Mark. You were talking about how some teams from EMEA, they can perform very well and then fall off later. But then we also get the slower starts from some of the bigger teams at times. And Alliance have fallen victim to that here. But again, they always seem to find a way. And you almost feel that expectation that they will. There's no doubt in my mind Alliance are going to get to that last final lobby, which is kind of crazy.
Long way to go until they get there, though, and if they perform like they did yesterday, the road is going to be extremely long. Keon gets absolutely torn apart. That's a 2nd kill for Satuki for Zeta Division, who seem to be loving these engagements at the moment. They are getting the better of GK, and they knew that they were going to have to head to Tree to res. Therefore, just mirrored their rotation, looking for those extra kills, and they found one of them.
Have Zeta bitten off more they can chew, though, because actually Trinity are now going to be here. Zeta came looking for GK. GK kind of used the dropship as a little bit of a diversion, and it has brought in the attention of Trinity, who it's going to be a straight 3v3 between the 2 teams.
GK, 2 of them managed to get away at, even after the knock came in, and they got that res. And for Alliance, it's not looking good again. A little bit of a scratch of the chin coming in from Hackis. That's unlucky, has to go back through the Void Nexus. Zeti Esports, and the man with the most aura in the ALGS picks up the kills. Duke looking good.
Seems to have happened a few too many times so far for Alliance, where one player has to retreat and start to res, as Alliance fans not looking too happy about their performance right now, but they are still alive. That's what matters, and we'll see if they can get back to a full 3 a little bit later on.
Well, Trinity versus Zeta continues here. Igarashi taking a little bit of damage, having to jump through a little portal to get back to Rohai's teammates there and find a little bit of at least cover and safety in the hands of his teammates. Scans now coming in. Bowls will be useless for a few seconds on the caustic, and using that opportunity to push, knowing those abilities will not be able to be used. It's Yuka who gets the first knock.
You have to take advantage of it. If you get that hit, if you're on that seer, you have to call that to the rest of the team. They're going to see the scan. It negates that legend so easily and comfortably, and now it's just a matter of playing cleanup through.
Rohai down as well. Trinity with just 1 player alive. managed to scarper away, but the way the Zeta division are fighting right now, they are looking ready for any challenge that approaches them. However, they do have a long way to go still towards this zone. A lot of busyness happening on that eastern side of where the zone is going to be pulling. As we head back over to Elite Esports, they are safe inside of the next zone, as Trinity will be eliminated next. It's going to be Henchman who finishes them off.
Is it going to be a similar story for Zeta Division, though? Are they going to try and approach that western side of launch site? We spoke about it in the previous series. It's such a difficult task to try and take here, to try and go up on top. Elsewhere, you've got the likes of Gaming Gladiators still holding their position as they had from the start. They've been joined by JD Gaming by the looks of things. As Alliance also a backup to at least a 2, from what I can see. Make it 3. Hackis also on his feet. So that's job 1 is done. Now job 2 is being able to stabilize a little bit.
Long way to go for them as well, with just 20 seconds to go. At least Unlucky has done what he needed to do by getting his team back in. JD Gaming, the worrying start continues here as they fall out of the lobby a little bit early as well. GG picked them up as RRQ will follow as well. A lot of teams starting to fall on this rotate.
Huge fight being won from Gaming Gladiators off screen, because we mentioned it. Gaming Gladiators, they took that position right from the start and they weren't built up. But they do win their first engagement they were tested with.
Well, Euryce is on 1 HP. And now he's on 0. Arufa, the last player alive in that fight, will now go over to launch site once again, because Zeta Division versus Elite is taking place. And Zeta Division are on their backs. Elite living up to their name at the moment when it comes to team fights. They are winning everything.
Zone closing now, though, so all these teams are going to be forced in. The likes of Alliance, AG Global, all going to be up there as Zeddy get eliminated. PXX go down as well. Teams dropping because that zone puts them in uncomfortable positions.
And the zone is pulling hard to launch site as well. There's only one team actually inside of where the next zone will be. That's going to be GG. Up on that high ground of the race against Sentinels. Winning that race has paid off for them. AG Global a long way away from where the next zone is going to be. They have to work their way all the way uphill here towards launch site, and they're getting hit by the caustic already.
Alliance have lost 1 on their way in. Make it 2. Make it all 3. Alliance go down as AG, they're going to check in elsewhere. GK Esports trying to approach, but they are being absolutely held out by AG at the moment, and unfortunately they're going to get pushed into the likes of TIE and For Fun.
There's so many teams down on this southern side. AG, we can see on our screens, we got VK Gaming looking at this, GK For Fun, TIE, all of these teams essentially being held out by Nemesis, who have that high ground in that position. We checked in with them a little bit earlier on in this game. Yanya taking some damage, has to back down, and even though the Hemlock is dressed in gold at the moment, he has to get some shields back and make himself good looking too.
The 2 major winners of this zone pool, Gaming Gladiators and Elite Esports, they're going to have the most real estate to work with, as now AG starting to push up a little bit. They see weakness, they're like sharks in the water and smell the blood, as VK Gaming will get taken down in 11th.
A little bit of help coming in from Relove as well, as VK will fall. 34 seconds until that zone closes, and everybody has to find somewhere to call themselves safe. There's an L-Star on the pickup here for Sacred, and if you want it in anyone's hands, if you're a Nemesis fan, it's going to be his.
Nemesis in a pretty good position as well, because they'll be able to capitalize on a lot of damage being done right here, right now from AG, as his GK will be finally taken down after their venture throughout the entire map to get back up. 9 squads now remain, and AG just continues to push.
AG probably thinking KP is the way forward here, with this zone pulling so far away from them, and TIE, RIP, they will fall in the lobby as well as AG continue to find kills. With that, we have 8 squads remaining in this lobby, and that creates a little bit of space here for AG to move in. Not a lot of teams alive, means they can at least walk up.
Interesting decision to be made here for AG, though. If they go one way, they could potentially third-party NIP and For Fun. The other, it's a straight 3v3 versus Nemesis. They're not going to know which. It's going to be a complete blind guess.
Q through here. Look at this cheeky little Q coming from Yanya, using every single inch of that Void Passage to get them into a safe position. And now For Fun, Yanya's after you.
Interestingly, NIP actually went through the other way, so now they'll be taking the fight against Nemesis. We're going to get 2 straight 3v3s in theory, but neither team feels comfortable to take it. AG just taking so much damage on the approach.
Ninjas in Pajamas just fallen in as well, but at least there's some points on the board for them. Sentinels also eliminated, Yanya on his back. And Jaguares and Nizel might be not long for this game. AG Global are gone. 5 squads now remain.
So it is still Elite and Gaming Gladiators winning out on all of this. DCG are also struggling in the moment, back against the wall, just trying to survive. As GG, they're just pressing out. They're making sure they take as much room as they can. Don't allow anyone to wrap behind them. And sadly, I think DCG are probably going to fall because of it.
For Fun Esports also gone. Zane, you can see the intensity in his face in the player cam as well. He wants to finish off DCG, and with this angle up on the high ground and with this Hemlock singing a tune, he might just do it now.
Have to be careful, there are other parties, there are other teams who can kind of get eyes on, one of them being Nemesis. But the three major teams I pointed out earlier in their really positive positions, they're all going to survive as DCG will be wiped. And that leaves us to Nemesis, Gaming Gladiators, and Elite Esports. Teams that are currently really looking across at where this zone's going to be going and where they can play from this point. GG, they took this position right at the start of the game. Elite have been working on this western side for quite some time. Nemesis certainly in the most difficult spot right now.
You want to talk about an aggro game? There's still 10 seconds left on Zone 5. We're not even at the final zone, and there's only 3 squads alive in the lobby. Nemesis, Elite, and GG. GG have the best position. They have the high ground that they can work down from. Nemesis have to move furthest. Elite are safe. So eyes on Nemesis. How do they make their way in towards this zone?
Yeah, which way did Nemesis go, right? That's going to dictate how this game goes. They have Alter to try and manipulate the map in their favor. They could kind of go dead central and play some of these stairs, try and use any of these objects to stay alive, but you are getting absolutely ripped apart on your approach.
The long boy doing the work here. Albrelelli and Skittlecakes feeling the wrath of the longbow. In the hands of Henchman, Light's trying to make sure that he collapses onto this final player to see if they can clean up these final pieces and add the KP to their collection. GG in the meantime, by the way, looking to wrap behind Elite, and there might be an opportunity here for Sacred to get Skillcakes back on his feet.
Yeah, GG trying to capitalize, but by doing so, as you say, it opens things up for Nemesis to potentially gain a little bit more room, a little bit more space, because now Light's gone down, and GG have taken so much room here.
GG have taken the game by the looks of things. Elite Esports are down, and GG move forward. It's a Game 1 win for GG. The form of yesterday continues into Day 2.
The zone came their way, and they were flawless with their approach. They knew exactly where they wanted to play. There was one key factor that happened off screen in the mid stages of that game where they won against JDG, the first team to really try and take that position away from them, and they won the 3v3 comfortably. And not only were they rewarded with, of course, their position, but also the extra Evo, the extra loot that JDG have been able to bring them over as well. So that when they do get into that final circle, they are far more looted and booted and suited. GG looking the real deal here at the LGS Split 1 playoffs at EWC 2026.
And winning that race as well. Right at the start, you saw Sentinels. They were thinking about taking that southern building away that GG played for the entirety of that game. Well, GG were aware of their timings. They knew how long it would take Sentinels to challenge it and made sure that they had presence down on that southern side of World's Edge at launch site. A very impressive game front to back. That is how you play zone.
Sometimes it can be difficult, sometimes the zone doesn't go your way, sometimes it can drift off even when you think it's going to come south.
Coba yang nempoy. Itu bisa di replay nyanyi di YouTube coba. Apex. Sound dengar anak. LBS 1. Kedeng padahal lagi ada mananya lagi dia nih kadang lagi dia oke lah.
However, we are missing some numbers.
Well, I can tell them to you. Game Gladiators, they finished in first place, 23 points with 11 kills. We had Nemesis, second place, 18 points, 9 kills. Got 11 kills in that game, which is kind of crazy as well. And then as you go further down for Fun, that finished in 5th place.
One thing to keep an eye on, though, and we have to keep an eye on, is the teams who kind of highlighted as having a shaky day yesterday. Alliance, we saw get into 12th, but barely a KP to go alongside that. We also saw Ninjas in Pajamas not having the best of performances, but at least got into the top 10 for some placement points, and you can see some contemplative thoughts, shall we say, going through the mind of Cole here on Ninjas in Pajamas.
You're kind of wondering when are we going to find that form.
Main. Kita main game saja. Kayaknya sudah bau. Opening na WP kadang tidak kuat saya ngomong terus bajingan. Itu thumbnail doang paling.
Control, just you and I. Almost an anti-mohilan night. We just drift, don't ask me why. We just drift, don't ask me why.
Ya, aku dulu lagi.
街のノイズが遠ざかってく静けさだけが包むルーム現実が少しぼやけて夢の中にいるみたいで触れた瞬間ほどけてくこの世界のルールも全部引き寄せられるように Fall Gravity doesn't matter at all 時間の流れ In this ocean 名前もないこの Sensation Still I'm lost in your vibration 無重力の中だよ境界線も曖昧でこのまま消えてもいいそんな奇才無重力ナイトに溶けていく
Main saja main. Coba. Oke. Bab. Mana anjing?
Halo bang. Keluar deh nih, ntar nih. Keluar nih, bentar lagi nih.
Setengah jam berarti. AC itu. Deting.
Oke, tenang. Pak.
Nggak di drone, nggak di return dia.
Apa? Oh itu akun. keluarin semua teknik dulu. Umum lah, umum. Terus. Iya, ya jadi nggak bakal kedengeran kan, ini kan nggak ini.
Sudah jadi WP.
What makes a legend?
Nah, kalau ini ya orang gila ya.
Kok tutup dah sekarang.
Oke. Halo.
What the fuck?
Katanya. Masih belum menyerah saya. Bermain apa sekarang? Cepat kencang anjing.
Belum apa? Ya sama aja, jangan lagi bang. Ya, potong ya.
Wings up. Fox 3 launching missiles.
Kalian cek kamar itu.
Whoa! Shouldn't take off without an upgrade. runway, burning daylight. Doubt I'd hit the top. Fangs out. I got an upgrade. Alert 5, ready to scorch for burn. Go for burn. Better get an upgrade locked in. Please direct your attention to the flight attendants as coming in hot! Wings out.
Beneran ini pokoknya alhamdulillah.
Upgrades strapped in. Mana ada gambar rumah? Apex katanya belum gratis, tidak mungkin. Jadinya malah main. AKA Kairi, Valk, and the Ghost of Viper. Me? I put the war in war. You're the last one alive. Introducing your champion.
I'm the jump master. This time.
Let's make a varsity play for the deck.
Here we go. Ready? You're in view of the enemy.
Here goes nothing.
Enemy over there.
Attention. First blood.
First blood. Should have seen that coming.
Nobody panic, but we got bandits out there.
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
Did I say that?
Next ring's far.
I'm feeling spicy.
The ring's closing in a minute. We're not close.
Got a bandit in my sights.
"45 seconds. Ring's far.
Evo harvesters are now available.
Defend here. Fox 3, firing missiles.
Frag out.
All of it.
Enemy shield.
Bandit down.
Last one down. In progress.
We're outside the ring. Move unless you want to get barbecued. One sec, healing up.
Layak bet mulutnya dia nih.
Delivering care package.
Incoming care package. Pro tip, don't try grabbing
Making contact with
here
enemy.
and looking straight up their tailpipe.
Taking fire.
Cracked shield on that bandit. Recharging shield.
We should go here.
Under fire. Need some help here.
Enemy down. Recharging my shields.
Champion has been eliminated.
The champion made a poor choice.
Attention. There is a new kill leader.
Enemy shield.
Gak mati dong.
Time to move this way.
Upgraded, uplifted, and up. It's okay. I don't think anyone saw, except whoever shot you.
Mati kan? Gimana mereka sekarang?
everything you need.
I'm ready. Let's get the job done.
If you can't keep up, you're straight out of luck. Introducing your champion.
I survived being swallowed by the dark heart of the universe, so you lot seem a wee bit...
I'm the jump master.
quaint to me.
This time. Dropping in. You're in view of the enemy. I think I may have been spotted.
Hostiles dropping near me. About to get shot in the rock. Weapon enhanced. Ain't that pretty?
Got my weapon in hand. Let's do this.
Leader appointed.
I've been down.
First blood.
Hostile right here.
Có điện anh bằng sắt.
Confirmed. Another notch on the belt. Give my shields a recharge.
Respawn beacon over there.
Down a target.
Evo harvesters are online.
Patching myself up. Enhanced my weapon. Target spotted.
Flatline here. Kicks like a mule, but hits even harder.
Healing up. Eyes are open though.
You're in view of the enemy.
I'm out of energy ammo. On the smoke.
Grenade.
Down to
Boy running.
need a medic.
On your feet. Lance, got your back. Just giving my shields a recharge.
We got company, people.
Every little choice changes the path. Target over there.
Things are close.
Keep it up, I'm getting
Double
shot
timing
at.
it. A broken enemy shield.
Hands up. You're fighting.
That was the whole devotion here.
Just giving my shields a recharge.
Half the squads are left. Let's smoke them. Take fire. Cracked an enemy's shield. Reloading. Spotted. Double timing it. Give my shields a recharge.
Enemy down. Getting some damage over here.
They've laid traps. You're in view of the enemy. Traps.
Frag out. Grenade. Enemy shield broken.
recharge.
Hostile close. Fire. Give him a shot at.
Watch my back.
I'm down.
Hold tight. I got your back.
I need help.
Healing. Watch my back.
Phasing. Patching myself up.
Listen up, I'm getting shot at. Doug, stay with me. Keep the healing coming. Healing. Watch my back. Listen up, I'm down.
Setting me down in the portal.
Just us now. Supply ship inbound.
Portal placed.
Ring's far. Move fast, folks. Can't afford to lose anyone. Taking a knee. Patching up. Firing. Take fire.
Airstrike. Need to recharge my shields.
I'm down.
Frag out.
The ring's closing in a minute. We're not close.
Grenade out.
Need to recharge my shields.
Let's go this way.
1 second. We got this. 45 seconds. Ring's far.
Grenade.
Contact with hostiles.
Back an enemy shield.
Sulit. Bisa berdarah kenceng soalnya obatan tambahan. Tuh extra button.
I think we should go here.
Attention. Delivering care package.
Zip line over there.
Even if the cost
the last of my flesh. I will come in first. We have no choice but to win.
Introducing your champion. Stay close. I'm the jump master. Dropping. They might be watching you. Competitive land near me. This will be fun.
They spotted me. I'm taking. I've been down.
Ciao, ciao.
Nge-lag anjing. Server mana ya, Pak?
Ada lagi. Mana tuh?
Stromberg, Hedvin.
All that matters. Jack is the last one alive.
This is your champion.
Everyone's got a place in the games, but I've got first place. I'm the jump master. AJ Shea leading the way. This might be a good place to land. Get ready, moving out.
Our form of even the God's spirit.
Enhanced my weapon.
Got my weapon in hand. Let's do this.
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown. Attention. First blood.
New ring is distant.
First blood.
Broken enemy shield. I'm taking fire.
Set it like that.
Ah, berbahaya.
Marking our surroundings.
Hostile close.
Taking a moment to recharge my shield.
This way, let's go.
At least one enemy. Let us follow it. The ring is far.
This won't hurt. Hold on. Evo harvesters are now available.
Lost that close.
Target spotted.
Last member's down. One squad closer to winning.
Upgraded and good to go. Just giving my shields a recharge.
Extended heavy mag here.
Looks like a care package is coming in. Big things in that.
Care package over there. Care package over there.
Stay with me, Doc, and keep the healing coming.
Shield cell here.
Half the squad's left. No time to be
Optics
tired.
here. Mid-range. Good. Got my ultimate ready. Setting a portal. Portal. Reloading. Last member's down.
Contact.
One squad close to the wing. Getting shot at. Target over there. Enemy shield broken. Need to restart my surroundings. Hostile spotted. Hostile over there.
Enough, I'm getting shot at. Just giving my shields a recharge. Stay with me, Doc, and keep the healing coming.
Hostile over there.
Maybe loot here.
Enemy over there.
Marking our surroundings. Shots fired. I have fallen.
Going to face.
Contact with hostile.
You succeeded only in disappointing me. Getting shot at.
Sulit.
Let's go that way.
Shield batter. Amp here. Overflow healer.
Picked an upgrade. Now who to test it on?
buat main solo leveling besok.